What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel. And I have here with me Dayo. And Dayo, how you doing?
I'm good, man, and I have here with me Abby because Abby is good. Abby is going to interrupt us every now and then.
so we have three people on the show today.
Just in case you hear her voice, there we go.
Then how you doing, Abby? But anyways, so as you guys know, the link to his channel is in the description. And today we just want to talk about Cole Palmer. And Dayo, what's your take on Cole Palmer? How do you see it? Before I talk, how do you see it?
Man, he's a phenomenal player. Let me not let's call a spade a spade. Cole Palmer is a phenomenal player. No, we're talking football. We're talking pure football here, talent wise.
Yes.
For that young man, he fought to get out of Man City. He told them he wanted to, he needed more playing time. They weren't going to give it to him. He fought to get out of Man City. He went to a Chelsea club that everybody said was dead, and Chelsea will kill your talent. And out of all the players there, he's the only one that has shined so far last season. And this season, he has carried on doing it. So Cole Palmer, kudos to you. Flowers to you. You're an amazing player. Yes, there's no taking that away from him.
Yeah, and for me, do you know, like, as I went, City sold him. As at that time, City sold him to Chelsea for £40 million or so. That was a good buy because that was a good deal because you are selling a player that there's no much game time. He hasn't gotten much game time. It wasn't like a regular. You understand? So as at that point, that made sense because I'm not sure we all knew the talent was there for Cole Palmer, but the numbers he did last season, it's not something I'm sure anyone saw happening. Maybe if you say, I think before he did that numbers, I used to say, okay, Cole Palmer is that kind of guy that will give you, like, let's say 10 to 15 goals a season rather, with few assists there. But last season he just went like numbers Mo Salah, and the kind of numbers Mo Salah do, you understand? So as I went, City sold him, it made sense. But right now, I don't think, when you look back, you're like, maybe City would have added more money. Like, I'm sure Man City, they didn't expect him to have this, like, to be this good. Of course, the talent was there. And again, for me, I'm like, is it that Pep didn't see it in this guy? Is it that Pep didn't see it? Or what? Because he didn't want to leave. He never wanted to leave. He never wanted to leave. He wanted to stay and he wanted to play for the team. But I'm like, is it that Pep didn't know this guy was this good or what? But man,
I think the thing about it is City have a good academy, and so for them, turning players like Cole Palmer out, turning players like Foden out, turning players like James McAtee out, players
yeah,
like Nico Lewis. These are all amazing good players. Look at Oscar Bob, so they have an amazing academy, and so for them, getting rid of a talent like Cole Palmer for 45
yeah.
million pounds, good deal. He's going to perform anywhere he goes to. But sadly, City have a packed squad, and it's going to be hard for him to get game time even if it was City. But the way he's performing right now for Chelsea is
Yeah.
because Chelsea don't have anybody that can carry them, so he's the one carrying them. In City, he's still going to have a problem because by default, Pep is the manager that defaults to his senior players when they are fit and running.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The thing is, like you said, of course, City have a lot of good academy players. If you look like in Chelsea, what's the name of this guy that plays DM for them? Lavia, Tosin Adebayo. Those ones, like, the talent is there, you understand? The talent is there. But when you look around now, it seems Kopama is that, when you say the 1% of the 1%. And losing that, the problem is losing that 1%.
Is he the one? Is he really the 1% of the 1%, or is he because he's carrying a dead Chelsea team that makes it even better? He's putting the numbers up. Don't get me wrong, the numbers are there, but the numbers he's putting up, right? Like, of course, scoring 4 in the first half is amazing. That is a phenomenal feat. I have to dove my hat for that one. But the numbers he's putting up last season, 20 goals a season, that's exactly what Solanke put up for Bournemouth, and that's what people like this guy. Even though he's not a striker, he put up those numbers. A lot of them, of course, remember, padded the penalties. So if we say non-penalties versus penalties, there's a level of the goals that he contributed, but you can't take away man's penalties from him because So my thing is.
Okay.
Is he really the 1% of the 1%? I'm not saying he's not. I'm just trying to figure out, like, is he really the 1% of the 1%, or is it just because he's very talented? He's in a Chelsea side that is horrible, and he's
Mm-hmm.
carrying them.
No, but I mean that 1% in terms of the city, the player City, like from the academy, City have
That's what I'm
left
saying.
out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he really the 1% from those players that City has let go?
I think so because if you look
because
around, the other guys,
the other guys are ending up in places where they are fitting into a squad and they are working in that squad, and you're
but
like, all right.
which of
Like
them
last,
is doing which of them is doing better than Kopama? That's what I'm trying to like. I don't think
he's the best. He's the best. He's the one who's performing the most out of the bunch that you have let go of, which I agree with you. But I'm saying Lavia, we haven't got to see Lavia a lot.
Yeah,
but we got to see him at Southampton. We got to see him at that, and that's why Chelsea went for him. A lot of people, in fact, Liverpool wanted Lavia after Southampton.
Even the guy Dilap in his speech.
Yeah, so there's you have to, and then he's been injured. We've not seen him. So my thing is, yes, talent-wise, I'm not comparing their talent. I'm just saying he is the one who has shined the most out of all the academy players that City have let go of. And I think that he deserves it because he's put in the work and he has the talent. And, phenomenal player that he is, I think City's academy still has some players that are like James McAtee. Do you think if James McAtee went to another team, he would not be performing? He would.
No, the thing is, I think they all perform well. They all perform well. But, is just going to that next level. That's what I'm saying. Kopama is on that next level. Like, right now, Kopama is doing... Like last season, he had 27. He didn't have a Solanke number. He had 27 goals in all competition, and I think 15 assists. That's 42 goals contribution. Those are not normal. Those are not Solanke, or those are not normal numbers. Those are like numbers like Mo Salah used to drop. You understand? That kind of numbers. So he's the rest of the guys. Yes, they will all perform wherever they go to. They'll be able to take their game to the next level, which Kopama has done. And going into a Chelsea team. And another thing I would like to say again is, sometimes players find it difficult to adapt to a new system. He played under Pochettino and he was flourishing well. It seemed it was like a match made in heaven. Now Enzo Maresca has come in and he has been able to adapt as well to the system of Enzo Maresca, and he's still doing numbers.
That in itself is a trait that he, you have to give him his kudos for as a player, because you're right. Maybe I'm just over analyzing it. Sorry people. Yeah, Abby's here. She thinks we're talking to her, so she's going to add her own voice. I think that, like, maybe I'm just, and I'm not saying he's not the 1%. Don't get me wrong. I'm just asking that based off of what we've seen so far, he's an amazing player. He's doing amazing things. Is it because he's in the Chelsea squad now that that looked bad last season, and this season he's also looking good? Is there more to it that work?
Do you know what I think? I think if Kopama have gotten the game time Phil Foden got, and also the game time, let me say, like enough game times in that Man City team, I think he will be able to do these numbers. I believe he'll be able, if he had gotten those game times. Yes, in that City team.
Well, not impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that you have to put in the fact that he won't get that game time at City.
Yeah, of course. But of course, Pep giving him that game time.
So at Chelsea, he got the game time.
Yes.
And that allowed him to develop, and show what he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. So I think, rightfully so. In a City squad, he will shine when he needed to shine. But Cole Palmer seems to be the kind of player, from what I've seen so far, who needs to be the main character and not a player that is sharing game time with somebody else.
Yes.
And that would be difficult in City for him to do.
And I think, another thing again, I think, at the beginning of this season, was it Chelsea first game where they played Man City, where Enzo Maresca, I think that was the one mistake he made in terms of that game, where he played Cole Palmer on the right, and I think it was that game where Enzo played as a cam also, and it didn't really work out. But we know he can play. I think anywhere we need an attacking position, Cole Palmer can play. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the middle, and maybe first time ball. I would say maybe the strongest position for him is that cam position, just where he takes the game and is able to make things happen, like he's able to influence the game. But this season already, he already has 10 goals contribution, 6 goals in total, and 4 assists, which it's crazy. will he be able to do last season numbers? I don't know, but you expect him to score lots of goals.
I mean, at this rate, he's probably going to do last season's numbers.
Do you think he will do last season numbers?
At this rate, if you've already done 6 goals and 4 assists in 6 games.
I think he might do. He had 42 goal contribution last season. Maybe he might do. Oh man, 40. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if he does this.
Abby, no. If you're doing 10 goal contributions in 6 games, that means in 12 games you've done 20 goal contribution. In 24 games, you've done how many? 40. In 24 games, you've done 40. In 36 games, you've done 60 goal contribution. If we had to go with this trajectory, like 10 goal contribution in 6 games. In 12 games, that's 20 goal contribution. In another 6 games, which is 18 games, another 10 goal contribution, that's 30 already. In another 6 plus that, in 24 games plus 10, that's 40. So in 24 games, if he carries on at this rate, he will be doing 40 goal contributions by the time we're at game 30.
I think for my prediction, if I'm to predict how many goals, I think he will do between 36, 38.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying he will be able to do those numbers if he's going at this pace. So definitely,
at this pace,
he will hit those numbers
if he stays fit. Too,
that's another thing. If he stays fit, and we pray that good players stay fit regardless of whether we support it.
Because it seems like he's the one carrying that Chelsea team, and if he's out, you can tell it will really affect the Chelsea team. It will really, really affect the Chelsea team if Cole Palmer is out of that team. Now, just to round this up, Dayo, let's just do a ranking between Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, and Bukayo Saka. Anyway, no bias here. Just how do you want to rank?
I'm going to ask you again what the criteria for the ranking is, because there has to be a criteria for it.
No. We know Bukayo Saka and Foden have been consistent in the last 3 seasons.
Here's the thing. Hold on, Ahmed.
Okay.
I don't like to be disingenuous to people, right?
Okay.
I like to be fair. There has to be a criteria for the ranking. We can't just, because a lot of things that people are trying to do now is rank the players based off of current form and how good he's performing.
No.
Okay, great. If that's the yardstick, then we can say Palmer right now is performing better than both of them. Great. Cool. But if we're going to rank it based on consistency, based on output, based on growth, because year in, year out, Foden and Saka have been doubling the numbers that they've been doing.
Yes,
consistently. True. What's his name? Cole Palmer has only done it last season. He's looking good this season, so there's not enough data for me to come and compare him with them. But if we're going to just go based off of current form, I'll say Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka right now, and then I'll say Foden, because Foden hasn't played a lot of games.
Yeah, I think
he got a lot of. If I say on current form,
yes, I think I agree with you on that one. On current form right now, this is.
But if I say overall, as regards to the player that you would say, okay, look, hey, based off of consistency, winnings, and all that, I would start off very clearly with Foden. I would say Saka, and then I'd say Palmer.
I think I agree with that one as well. On current form, I think it will be on current form right now. Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, and Foden. Then, if you want to go on consistency, and in the last who has been
in the last 4 or 5 years, but we can, that's why I said it's unfair to throw Cole Palmer into that equation. If you're going to be doing it based off, who have done it in the last 4 or 5 years. Last 4 or 5 years, it's been Saka and Foden, and their numbers have been good. Abby, and their numbers have been good.
I know they're already talking about him being the best English player currently right now in the league, and I'm like, haba. It's too early already. But he's a very good player. He's a very good player.
He's a generation. He's going to do amazing things in the league.
Yes,
he is doing amazing things. I just want to see it done on a more consistent
level, like Foden and Saka have done.
Like the next few years.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Dayo, for coming. And guys, let's know your thoughts about Cole Palmer. Like I said, the link to Dayo's channel will be in the description below. Please do not forget to like, and also do not forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.